Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Ryan, and this is UnReal World, and we are back for the Spirit Quest playthrough. And right now, we aren't doing much spiriting or questing. We are actually exploring, but it's very essential to our basic survival needs. We are actually here by the river. Now, the unfortunate thing is, if you miss the last few episodes, if you're just coming into the series, by the way, there is a link down in the description to check out the full thing. But we've been trading a lot of our kills, the roasted meat for some dried meat, because obviously dried and smoked meat lasts a lot longer than just roasting stuff over the fire. You can keep this stuff for weeks, but roasted meat lasts about a couple days at the most. And I've actually had some stuff go bad on me. So if you'll see down here, we got a list of some spoiled roasted stuff. So yep, I spent too much time running around. Sometimes it happens, it's unfortunate, but to make up for things, let's do a general sacrifice here. Oh, we need to zoom in first. I should know that. So we'll do a little sacrifice. Now this is part of our spirit questing here. We'll do one dried pike. That's actually a big meal. So I hope the spirits are feeling appeased by that. But nonetheless, we need to continue our exploration. So we're here by this river, the beautiful river, which we're definitely going to be setting up a shelter near here. So again, if you're new, I'm trying to base most of my food intake on fishing and netting things now, because I often avoid that and just do active hunting and trapping in my series. So I'm trying to take a complete 180, go the opposite direction, and do mainly fishing. Now we have killed a few animals just because the spirit of the hunter lives strong in my heart, and I can't avoid it. If I see an animal in a good position, I go for him. But right now, we're not worried about it. I've got a little bit of food still. And again, if you run out, it's not the end of the world. Your guy can starve for several weeks before death hits you, but your physical condition will deteriorate too, so you won't perform as well. But anyway, we're nowhere near that now, so we don't need to worry. My goal is to get down to the coast. I actually think I'm super close to it. I think this little blue sliver is the coastline, so I just wanted to have the entirety of this river explored before I decide where to set up the base, or shelter, I should say. I still don't know if we're going to fit where we're going to build our smokehouse yet, but I'm honestly trying to just kill a little bit of time, kind of, until it gets cold enough for us to dry meat outside. Because that gives us a whole series of like 4 or 5 months where we can just continually hunt and store up food and stuff. Or I should say fish. Sorry, no hunting, fishing. Because we can dry and smoke fish as well. So, all right, well, we have achieved our goal. I'm pretty sure this is where the river ends, and this is the coast. Let's come down here. See that little peninsula? Did we explore that fully? I don't think we did. I want to get all of this region opened up. And in fact, at some point, I'd like to go to the other side of the river. Yeah, we got most of this unlocked. I'd like to go to the other side of the river and explore that inland a little bit, but not going to worry too much about that. Oh gosh, I've been pushing my guy. We're having trouble sleeping for long stretches, so we actually just got lucky there. The weather often interrupts our snoozes, but let's see. I should probably fill up my water too. Got to take time to do the basics of survival craft. All right, so we have found the length of the river. It's actually fairly short, if I'm being honest. Yeah, there it is right there. So this little square that it represents a village is kind of lies at the head, at the top of the river itself. These lakes here, these two, this is where that river starts. And like I said, it's time to find a spot to settle down and do some serious fishing. Oh, well, it's not a fish, but I did spot a swan right here. You see a swan-shaped figure in the distance. There you go. Swans are good eating, too. But I'm not necessarily going to set my base or my shelter down based on the swan sighting. It's cool, though. You do see some interesting animals in this game. I mean, it's fully fleshed out, no pun intended, with most of the critters you would expect and some you wouldn't expect, like snakes and things like that. Pretty rare to see snakes, but all right, I'm getting off the track here. Now, this is what I'm looking for. In fact, this might be the spot. So I really like this location for 3 reasons. One, there's rapids right here at this spot so we can fish there year long. Two, there's a crossing point right here so we can cross in the warmer months without having to swim, and that's very close to each other. And three, if we zoom out, there's a pretty decent amount of hunting ground out here. Pretty flat, open, where it's fairly treeless. So I'm happy with this. Now, it's getting dark. It's late evening, but I've still got some energy left. So I say we get into the... I kind of like the rapids better. What about a spot between them? Now, we need to settle right on the rapids. I just want to make sure there's some decent woods over here. Some logs I can... Yeah, it's pretty open. Yeah, there's no good forests really along these rapids. This is interesting. Look at this. The rapids don't really start right at the shoreline. There's a gap here. I wonder if that means this section would ice over. I bet you it does. Huh. It's an interesting little area. Whoops. Let's go ahead and zoom out again, and I'm just going to walk the beach here. Wow, it doesn't... I've never seen that. I don't often, like I said, I don't fish a lot, so I don't often spend time near rapids and stuff, but no, it doesn't continue to the trees. I was hoping we'd hit a forest and have like the edge of the rapids right near the forest, but it's pretty good ways down here to any kind of tree cover. Well, like I said, the reason I'm hoping for some thick forest near us is just for the wood itself. If I do want to build a smoker here, we're going to need some logs. Okay, so I have abandoned the first spot that I chose, and I found this better spot here, and it's not that far north of where we just were. So it's about midway between the coast and where the river ends, which is good. Plus, I do want to be as close to the yellow as possible so we don't have to spend days and days getting there if I want to do some trading or questing or whatever. But this is a good spot. Now, for all three of the reasons I already mentioned, there's a crossing here, which is a bit more finicky because if you'll notice, I don't think that technically leads us to the other side because there's like two rivers branching off. So in other words, I probably have to cross twice, but I don't really foresee myself crossing this river a whole lot. And if I do, I can just go up and around it. But there's also rapids, and those little happy hunting grounds I was just talking about are right here. So we're not even that far. So anyway, this is it. And there's plenty of woods. Woohoo. Let's zoom into the rapids. I love it. I love the picture of the rapids that it shows when it loads up. So it's the sound of surging rapids ahead fills your ears as you take a closer look at the area. I should start reading the little messages from now on. I'll probably forget, but I'll try to read some of those occasionally. Let's see. Okay, this is beautiful. And see this? The rapids come right to the edge of the beach. I've never seen a spot like that other location. It's intriguing. It almost makes me want to settle there just because it's unique, but I don't see much benefit to it necessarily other than it just kind of being a strange formation of the water. But this is perfect. Tons of trees for building if we want to expand here and do a smoker. And there's a good long coast or beach line. Oh, look, there's even a little bit of cliff area there. It's hard to see it, but yeah. Okay, so we'll set up shelter here. I like it. I just now need to find a specific spot. Okay, I think I have found a specific little spot nestled between these trees that I like. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, boy, he takes a lot of time to decide where he wants to set up something as simple as a shelter, but I've said it before, and I think it's important to reiterate. If you want to stay interested in the game itself and not lose, interest, then it's good to really find a spot that is you enjoy it, you like it a lot, maybe there's something special about it, that way you will come back again and again, improve upon it and things like that, and also there's a lot of utility to be found in certain areas like rapids and that, and maybe a cave on the water. That's something I think people will search for. Finding a natural shelter right next to a water source you can fish or just do, hide working next to. But anyway, let's build our shelter and get this going. I got all the materials. Boom, there we go. So I did make sure that building, as you can see, is one of our better skills. We're still adequate only, but it's up there. Fishing, there it is. That's pinnacle. Of course, we're also pretty good with the bow, too. So this guy shouldn't want for food ever, right? Now, we've got our shelter up, so the first thing to do is stock it with some firewood. I did pick up some extra twigs, so we'll just drop those on the ground, because those will be good for kindling. But now, first things first, let's peel the bark off this tree right here. Yes, bark is great for tanning. And did we get it? Let's do it again. Nope, can only do it once to the tree. I think otherwise it would like kill the tree. So there we go. So we got a sheet of alder bark. In case I want to ever save the fat and eat it myself off of an animal, then we've got bark that we can finish the skin with. Oh, look at this. And there's some blueberry shrubs right next to our shelter. Beautiful. I didn't even notice these, but I'm glad we set them up here. Alright, so I'm just going to, instead of actually chopping firewood, which is kind of a process, I'm just going to chop down a bunch of these small trees and move the slender trunks into the shelter. For me, those are just as good as most kinds of firewood. Alright, here we are. We've got everything we need. A little bit of firewood. I'll probably get more as the winter sets in, but I've got a log here for beating out any skins that we happen to have right next to our shelter. And also, I cut down a couple more tree trunks. I've got 3 exactly, and I situated them right next to the water's edge so we can build a raft right here. In fact, I should probably go and make a cesta as well with one of my slender trunks, but we are going to have to go back to our original shelter spot, which isn't that far really, but we need the rope. I didn't bring the leather rope with me, but luckily I know I have it because I stocked up on it accidentally. Nonetheless, you can see I am getting kind of low on food, so once I'm going to go grab the rope and make a beeline here. Let's see just how far it is. So you can see we're the red circle currently, and this is the shelter I'm talking about, so we're not that far. Less than a day, and I'll be there and back. Oh, now this is interesting. On my way back to the shelter here, I ran into a foreign trader, and I just got curious because I decided to take most of the stuff back to our new shelter here by the rapids. I feel like we're going to spend some time here, so that includes all the furs that we have gotten so far. Now, admittedly, these are garbage. They're ragged quality, but I've got quite a bit, I mean, for our early phase. So I want to see if maybe they'll take this. All I have up here is like a bundle of arrows. You know, you can never have too many arrows. So I figured let's do the elk fur. Nah, the quality. Sometimes if you bundle stuff that they might want together, even though it's low quality, they'll accept it. Ragged fur. Completely unacceptable offer. No. Well, I tried. I didn't think it would work. I tell you, that ragged quality of those furs makes them almost useless, except for like the most desperate clothing that you can just piece together, or cordage, you know, for drying meat and stuff like that. But nonetheless, we're going to have a lot of cordage, that's for sure. Okay guys, here we are at our campsite, the new one by the rapids. I have marked it on the map with its own little marker now, which is always helpful. And if we look back at the campsite, you can see I got the dog all tied up. He's got some bones. Right now he's munching on those. We've got our bark on this side. I put a bunch of stuff here. The cordage is all situated, so whenever we are able to start drying stuff, we'll have some cordage ready for that. But in the meantime, it is time to craft up. Whoops, wrong thing. There we go. We'll craft up our raft, and we're going to use the poor leather cord. Got it all ready to go. Now, do I have the cesta? Did I make a cesta? Oh crap! I think I did not. Or maybe I do. Yeah, it's on me. Okay, so I need to actually wield that cesta instead of the arrow. Okay, now it's in my hand. We will push off. Wait, what? No. Oh, I guess we can't take the raft into the rapids. That's what's happening right now. No. Can we move this thing? Oh, it's an inferior raft. Oh, it's going to take me a little while, but luckily I didn't settle very far from the actual edge of the non-rapid part of the river. Yeah, I can see it straight ahead. I'm going to have to rest. Yeah, it's going to take minutes because this is a very heavy raft. It's essentially 3 trees tied together. But all I need to do is get access to the water so we can set our trap or the nets. But other than that, I'm still glad we settled near the rapids because I can fish with my rod in the rapids, while our nets will be busy working over here in the still waters right next to it. Okay, here we go. We have done it. I had to cut down a couple small trees along the way, but we are at the edge of the water, and boom, there we go. So now we are rafting. Yeah, I was correct. Okay, can we not enter? Oh, we can enter from the side. That's weird. So it won't let me just straight... Oh, was it too deep there? No. I can literally raft to it, but I can't exit the land from it. Was it because there's like a cliff there? I'm not sure. Oh, well, we'll see. Like I said, it's not very far from the camp to really just launch from this position. Or even over here is probably a little better. But look, there's like lily pads out here and stuff. Weird grass. So can we identify this? No, we don't recognize. It looks like a lily pad. Can we pick it? No, you cannot pick it. Oh, it's asking me if I want to pick up the raft. Let's move next to it, though, and I'll order a pickup from the side. The weird grass no longer provides any yield or carries usable parts. It says no longer, so I suppose its harvestable season has passed. We'll have to keep an eye on that, though, see what we can get from it. Okay, so we've reached the point where the water's too deep for the raft, which means it's perfect depth for the nets. There they are, baby. Bringing them back in action. And yes, I know, I realize I still can't dry things. Well, at least I'm pretty sure we can't. But, I mean, this way maybe we'll get some food, because I am legitimately getting low. We have 4 smoked pikes left, and that's it, other than some vegetation here. But I mainly brought that along for some bait. So, speaking of bait, let's step over here. I do like having this coastline open now, so there's no trees. This way we can just easily walk back and forth. And I will take these slender trunks for my own purposes. Now, let's go ahead and do a little fishing. What do you guys say? We did learn that if we look here on our General Sacrifice tab, or Spells and Magic Means tab, that if we look at going rod fishing. So, when going rod fishing, you should first throw the fishing rod into the water, and then you have a good fishing luck. We're going to do that. So I'm going to get rid of the cesta. In fact, I should have dropped that over there by the raft. Okay, there we go. I dropped off the cesta, and I'm now wielding the rod. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to wield it to fish. You can just do that as an action with it in your inventory. But if I want to throw it into the water, I think I do need to have it, or at least have like an open hand, I believe. So let's try that. Boom, there it is, right there in the water, right in front of me. Can you see it? Yep, there it is. We'll grab it. And let's go. So like I said, I'm not wielding it. In fact, let me put my arrow back on there. And we'll hit A for action. I will go down to the fishing rod. It's asking me what do I want for bait. We'll do... Oh, we've only got a little bit of the smoked pike. Let's just throw that on there. I assume we... Yeah, it increases our likelihood of catching something, but I don't know for sure. Although we just caught 6 roaches, baby. How much is that? 2 pounds of food. Let's keep going. I need more. R for repeat. What? Oh, fishing equipment. And same smoked pike piece. Didn't catch anything. That's the luck of the draw. Let's move down a little bit. Take a new spot along the river. I also am not sure if that helps or not, but can't hurt, right? Okay. Use our fishing rod. I can tell already that I need to drop a bunch of stuff if I plan on fishing for like multiple times. It helps if you don't have to, like, whenever I hit the R button to repeat the active fishing, instead of having my knife, my arrows, my longbow, all like I have to scroll through each of those and the poor leather core rope just to get to the bottom. If I drop all that stuff, I can just hit R, enter, fish, or it will ask me for like a bait too, but I could also drop my food so there's no bait question. And then you just boom, 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 real fast. It's good to do that, actually. And like I said, if we're going for longer fishing where I'm trying to get a ton of fish so I can smoke it, we'll do that for sure. But right now it's more leisurely, so I'm not going to drop all that stuff. Let's just go ahead and proceed. A little nettle. Oh, we're getting tired. Do we get anything? You're too tired to stay up on your feet. We caught 6 perches. How much is that? So that's 8 pounds of food right there, baby. Well, we are ready to drop. We're going to literally crawl into our shelter for night. Before we go to bed, we'll general sacrifice. Thank you to the lords of the sea. Okay, so I have got all our fish roasted up now. I built a small little fire, and I don't want to go overboard with the fishing and get a whole bunch of it because, again, as I've mentioned several times now, we can't dry it. So I've just got this roasted stuff, and as you can see, that's the only thing, but that's because I dropped a little bit of other food here. So my intention with this was to make it easier on myself to eat that roasted meat first. Again, it's all about efficiency with your button clicks. So now, since I picked up the roasted stuff first, it'll be first on the list when I hit the E button to eat, as opposed to the pikes and stuff, which originally I was holding the longest. So all of this stuff would have showed up first, but now it's easier, like I said, to use. It's first in, first out. If any restaurant workers out there, you know what I'm talking about. But so that's good. That's all set. What I'd like to do now is I've got a tree that I cut down and I chopped it up into 8 blocks of wood. So the blocks of wood are real handy for like starting off certain things. And one of the things we need is a paddle, and we also need a shovel. Both of which, actually the paddle might be made from a board, but I think the shovel's made from a block, but that's okay. We can do boards here in a second. Let's go to our crafting menu, and if we go to utility, we can see there's a, I'm looking for wooden shovel. It's not here, is it? No, it's not. Wooden cup? No. Alright, no worries, I'll find it real quick. Ah, here we go. So it is under carpentry with all the other wooden crafts and stuff. If you want to make a true shovel with a metal blade, you've got to get into blacksmithing, which of course is part of the mod set that I've got, but it is possible to bootstrap yourself up from a knife, essentially, and get everything you need just from blacksmithing. In fact, I have a series linked down below in the description where I do that very thing, but it does take a long process. Nonetheless, the wooden shovel is a good start, and even if I was trying to make a metal shovel, we would have to create a wooden one first just to get started. So this is the first step, and now we've got that acquired. I'm going to take a drink real quick, eat some of our roasted roaches. Sounds disgusting, but it's a fish. Okay. And let's head back to our little site here. Now, let's try the paddle. I think it's a board. Yeah, it's a board. That's okay. We can just chop down another tree. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. I gotta rest. Rest it out, buddy. And there we go. Now I can go ahead and just stand right here and hit B. Boom. It's a little bit longer. Boards is a very delicate. Oh, we actually did make a fine board. That's cool. All right, let's grab that. We'll try and make ourselves a fine paddle with that board. I'm going to step into the shelter. We're going to go to bed because we're very weary. And move to the river, take a nice drink of the fresh river water. I don't advise that, folks. Don't drink straight from the river, but this is an unreal world here. This is an idyllic time where water is fresh. But even in this kind of setting where there's no pollution, there could be like a carcass upriver. You don't know. You know, there can be invisible stuff that you can't see, which could hurt you. So always boil your water. But anyway, here we are. So we've got the board. I'm standing well away from the other stack of boards because I don't want to accidentally pick up automatically some random board that's like a lower quality. We want to try and use this specific board that I have, the fine board right there. Oh, look at it. It's like glimmering in the sunshine. It's beautiful. No, you can actually get a perfect board too. There is a perfect modifier for boards, but all right, enough chit chat. Let's do this. And our paddle. Now, of course, the paddle will allow us to take our raft into the deeper water. Maybe we'll do some fishing on the raft at some point. Bada boom. Okay, well, we obtained a decent paddle. You can't always get everything, can you? Yeah, it's better than the inferior wooden shovel I made, though, so that's positive. Yeah, if you were going to try and, like, get everything started for blacksmithing, which we're not, but I'm just mentioning it, You definitely would probably want to remake the shovel until you get one that's like standard quality or even better, depending on your carpentry skill. But this inferior one, that might add a few extra hours onto every one of your tasks, the really, really laborious tasks that is. But all right, so we've got a few things now. I don't really need to carry the shovel with me. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to drop the paddle. I'm going to also grab my pooch. We're going to drop the paddle. Yeah, I'll step into the river just to cool off for a second. Boom. And I'm going to drop the paddle right here. Nice. All right. And we are going to leave. That's right. Like I said, we're not doing any more fishing at the moment. And I've crafted up a few things, so not much else to do. I mean, there's tons more stuff to craft, don't get me wrong, but I'm not too worried about most of it right now. I would like to get some more arrows, but we'll be okay. We'll be okay. I've got 3 of them. And like I said, we're not really hunting so much. So what I do want to do is head up to the yellow territory. So we need to, as I've said, get into some serious questing and talk to some shamans. Hopefully we can get in good with some of these tribes and stuff. And we might even kill an animal or something up here and smoke the meat in one of these shelters so we can get that process started, which will be good for trading, obviously, and stuff, and handing out to get in good with certain villages and whatnot. Very important to get your status up. But I think we've got a long and hopefully fun and enjoyable series ahead of us. So if you guys are enjoying it, hit that like button for me. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. I know there are a lot of fans for the Unreal World out there, and a lot more than I expected, at least when I first started uploading this game. So I'm always very happy to bring it to you guys. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.